Hey everybody, it's Kia. So today I thought that we would record the debt payoff update video, I guess. I don't know if this is really a debt snowball or just debt tracker or what this really is, but I wanted to go ahead and get it recorded and see what the progress was for the month of May so that I can get that in my planner. So as you can tell, this is my debt confession. I did have to make a little change to it last month. Kind of towards the end of the month, my daughter's laptop took a crash and she will be doing a lot of school on it this year. So we went ahead and we did get her a new laptop. So I added a new debt right here. Hopefully we won't have to add anything new on here for a while, but I went ahead, I added that in, and then I updated the totals. And then the other thing I did was I went through and figured out of all of these things, what we're going to be focusing on paying off. I mean, obviously we're not going to be focusing on paying off our mortgage. That balance is too high at the moment, as well as my student loan. I barely pay interest on that one. So we're not going to include those two in our debt payoff tracker, but everything else I'm going to go ahead and include. So, but I just wanted to go ahead and show you this was the updated version of my debt confession from last month. And then I did already go through, I went through all of the debts. I went ahead and I just listed them out in the same order as they were over here, or I think they're pretty close to the same order anyway. And I created a little debt tracker so that I can see what the beginning balance was, if there was an increase on it, what we've paid on it, and what the ending balance is. I know this is a little different from a lot of the debt trackers on the debt snowball videos and stuff like that I've seen, but that's partly because I doubt we have too many debts. I know the interest rate's really high on all of them, so I don't really care to track what the interest rate is on it. And then what I wanted to see is some of these cards I know that we do use occasionally. One of them in particular I know is my Capital One Visa, wherever it is. I know it's in here, this one here. I actually pay all of our bills on this one, all of our utility bills and stuff, and then that way I can get the cash rewards for it. So this one's kind of hard to track. And then my husband has a few cards in here that I noticed that he's been using, as well as like the Amazon card. I found out that our monthly Kindle subscription has been hitting that card. So that's why I wanted to go ahead and see this increase column on here. And then that way I can point out when I'm flipping through it, I can see what's being charged on it. I also wanted to see, in addition to things that are being charged on it, the amount of interest that's being charged on these, just so that as I'm paying things off, anything that pretty much the interest is eating up the payment for, those are the things that I probably want to go ahead and focus on first, just because it's kind of ridiculous to make a payment and not make any headway. So, but let's go ahead and dive in and get started. I'll go ahead and move my planner out of the way. It's not in the way as we go through all these. And let me get this lined up in here. And actually I'm going to have to get it a little closer, so I'll kind of scooch it up as I go through it. But so one thing to note too is that these Affirm loans, when I look at them, it shows me what the remaining balance is, assuming I make all the payments that we signed up for. So in this case, I paid off this one and this one last month. And when I paid them off and I was updating the balances on the computer, it showed that we had negative interest. And that's because that's interest that we saved by paying it off early. And I didn't really know how to get around it without going in and updating the previous balance. So I'm just going to go ahead and leave those in there as negative interest. I figured if nothing else, that's a boost just to feel accomplished for paying those things off. But we'll go ahead and dive in. So on this one, I did make a $77.10 payment, which brought the balance to zero. So because we paid it off a couple months early, we saved $2.98 in interest. The next one, I just made the minimum payment for the month of May, and it had $6.33 in interest. The minimum payment was $33.43, and that leaves a balance of $307.23. And I don't know why, some of these I decided to pick up the change when I was recording the balance, and some of them I didn't, so whatever. So our phones, they don't have any interest on them, and we pay $46.24 towards the phones each month, and that leaves the balance at $878.56 on both of them. Oops. Okay, this is a firm loan. Like I said, I paid it off. So I paid $1,154.97, leaving a zero balance. And because I paid it off early, and this is the amount that we agreed to when we set up the payments in April or March or whatever, we saved $140.50 in interest. We are not making any payments on these ones at the moment, so their balances are the same. And then this one, I'm not really sure if that's the full balance, but I think it's pretty close. On Stage, I made the minimum payment, and the minimum payment is $35. It had interest of $7.23, which leaves a balance of $276.23. And this one I will be paying off soon, so I'm super excited to make that one go away. The next ones, it looks like I've just made the minimum payments on a lot of these. So the Capital One, as you can tell, we have a lot of Capital One accounts because they were easy to get. The interest on the account was $12.54, and I paid $25 towards it, which leaves a balance at $650.54. This one I made the minimum payment as well. Interest on it was $11.87. Minimum payment was $25, and that leaves a balance of $686.87. JCPenney, same thing. I made the minimum payment, which is $27. The interest on it was $16.90, which leaves a balance of $776.90. Can't wait to make that one go away too. I can't wait to just fast forward and get through this. $15.34 was the interest on this one. I paid $25, and the new balance is $939.34. Sorry, my phone's buzzing. Okay, so the Amazon card, like I said, I found out that that's where our Kindle subscription is going, and I can't figure out how to log into that account. I'm going to have to reset the password, but I have to find the username first. So most of these accounts are on auto pay, so I don't actually log into them a whole lot. The interest and the Kindle subscription was $33.54. I paid $35, which leaves a balance of $1,014.54. The city card. Now this one had a big increase because I transferred over part of the balance on the Overstock card so that we could get to the point that we were going to pay that Overstock card off the rest of the way, because the minimum payment was pretty high and the interest was really high. So the increase on this card was actually $1,443.12 with interest and a $1,200 balance transfer. And there may have been something else on that card, but I'm not really sure. The new balance on it is $2458.12. And the reason I did that is because this one's free, interest free for 18 months. So that'll give us time to, we paid off Overstock this month, which was really nice. And then we're going to pay off the other interest-free card that we have that will expire in October, and then we'll turn around and we'll focus on the city card. Get that one out of the way. And then the GMC, this one is another one that has really high interest, but I think my husband had a couple charges on there as well because he likes Audible and Kindle books and stuff. So the increase in this one was $21.99. I paid $34 on it, which leaves a new balance of $1,131.99. Credit One, that's another one of my husband's cards, and apparently he has been using that for stuff. So there was an increase on it for $231.92. And I paid $65 on it, which leaves a new balance of $1,585.92. The other one, we actually had a little bit of rewards on it, so I went ahead and I redeemed those, and it decreased by $21.05. But the payment I made on it was $50. So the new balance on this one is $1399.95. And then we get down to the other Capital One account. So that one is the one that is interest-free until October. So I paid $80 on it. The minimum payment's only like $35, I think. And we had an increase of $194.69 on this one, and that is because I had to go to the doctor and I had issues trying to pay at the register. It was so embarrassing because I use Capital One mainly for our bill pays. I have a checking account with them, and that's where I transfer all of our bill pay money. And I had money set aside for the doctor's appointment, and it would not let me use the debit card. So I was scrambling around to use whatever cards I could in my pocket to go ahead and pay for the visit, and that was $200. And then there again, I got some rewards, so that's why that one's a little lower. But so embarrassing, I can't believe it. And then I was going to make the payment on it, but then when I was going through and trying to figure out what I could pay off for the month, I decided that I wanted to pay off this Affirm loan, and I really wanted to pay off this Affirm loan because the minimum payments were really high on those, or well, they were pretty high anyway. So I opted to not go ahead and pay the doctor bill off last month, just so that I could pay those ones off since I was so close. And this one is also another interest-free card, so I figured I'd go ahead and do that, and then we'll work on paying that one off next month. So the Chase card, we're not really using that one, thank goodness. Best Buy, this one's another one, it's City card. So my husband uses it for books and stuff. It had an increase of $81. I paid $61, and the new balance is $19.83. Now Overstock, that one's the cool one because we went ahead and we got it all paid off and we transferred the remaining balance. So the interest on the card was $15.22. And between the balance transfer of $1,200 and all the payments that I made, we paid $188.22, which leaves it a zero balance. Sam's Club MasterCard. This one we're not really using for anything, and as you can tell, the interest is really high. It was $44.30. I paid $66, which leaves a new balance of $21.76.30. Discover. This one's another one of my husband's cards. He had a couple things hit on this card as well. So the increase on it with interest and his charges was $86.08. I paid $76, and the new balance is $28.14.08. The other one, sadly, that's all interest. It was $53.33. I paid $83, which leaves a new balance of $27.75.33. Now this one's a hard one because we use it for utility bills and stuff. So the balance, which I've paid, but it was kind of hard to figure out how to note that. So I wanted to include the amount of the minimum payment that I make, which was $80, but to be able to get to the ending balance, which was $29.24.12, because I charge and pay on this card multiple times throughout the month, it had a net increase of $103.36, even though I actually paid like $600 on that card. So that was kind of the wash in what the increase was at the end of the month. State Farm, it had an increase of $115.91. I paid $66.66, and the new balance is $29.64.25. Wayfair, this is all interest, sadly. It was $75.78, and I paid $115 on the account, which brings the balance to $32.35.78. The payoff loan was pretty exciting. We went ahead and we paid this one off as well, because we received our stimulus check and our tax refund about the same time. So I really only had to make up a little bit of the payment. And I actually had this account on deferral for a little bit because of our medical issues that we had last fall. So they let me put it on a 6-month deferral. I had to use a couple months of the payment that I would have normally made, but then I was saving those minimum payments every month so that when we got close to having to pick up the payments again in May, that we could make a really sizable down payment on it. Well, when the stimulus check came in, that just put us really close to being able to pay it off. So I finagled everything so that we could get that thing paid off. So the interest that they charged me for the month was $134.83, and I paid for the whole month. I paid $9,106.21, which left a zero balance on that one. Now the Prius and the Highlander, we're just making run payments on those. I paid $315 on the Prius, and then I paid $380 on the Highlander. And the interest on these were $79.47, and then $30. Or no, I'm sorry. Got that backwards. Or I got off on my little tracker that I'm using on the computer. Let's see. And of course, my whiteout doesn't want to work. I hate it when that happens. So the interest on the Prius is actually pretty high. I'm scared to even actually look at what the interest rate is right now, but they charged us $132.18. I paid $315, so that left a balance of $12,735.18. And then the interest on the Highlander was $79.47. Paid $380, so that brought the balance down to $18,424.47. And then because the student loans are on deferral, I went ahead and I did pay the Navient one. I paid $30.73 on it each month, which is all interest, sadly. So the balance stayed the same. It was $10,413.71. And then on Navient, which is my husband's student loan, I didn't make any payments on that one because of the deferral. So the balance as of right now is still the $14,659.79. I didn't see where they charged any interest. And then the last thing is going to be this Affirm loan. I got it right at the end of the month, so there was no activity on it. So the balance is still $548.07. So that's going to leave a balance of, let me go ahead and add that up really quick. Okay. So the total increases on the account with interest and the things that we charged and things like that were $2,850, and we paid $14,417.80 were the total decreases, which leaves a balance of $104,984.52. Cool. And then the net decrease for the month was $11,617.30. So I'm super excited about that. Like I said, we worked pretty hard to be able to pay off that payoff loan, and then I did want to go ahead and transfer things around for the overstock, go ahead and take advantage of that interest-free period that I got on the new city card a while back, as well as pay off this Affirm loan. The minimum payment was $110, so it's nice to get that one out of the way. And this one was such a small balance, I went ahead and I paid that one off too. So I'm super excited about that. And so just to kind of pop that out, that way I can see it on the planner, I'm going to go ahead and highlight those just so that they kind of stand out a little more. And there we go. So 4 things paid off that month. So that's really exciting because this one, the minimum payment was, I don't know, $20, I think, if I look back at the other debt confession. The minimum payment on this one was $110. The minimum payment on this one was about $115. And then this payment was $550 almost. So that's going to give us a really good step up in our Snowball. So I'm super, super excited about that. So I want to go ahead and bring over my planner again. So let me kind of get that in focus. And I want to go ahead and highlight the things that were paid off over here. So this was our number 1 priority, this payoff loan. Mainly because, like I said, whenever we get big amounts of money coming in, like tax refunds, things like that, I usually want to tackle the things that have the highest payment with the largest balance. That would take us a while to pay them off. So I did that one. Here is the overstock account. That one is gone. This affirm loan up here is gone. And then this one is gone as well. So that's pretty good progress for the month of May. So I'm super, super excited about that. I know we had some increases in a few areas. So that'll be the next thing that I try to figure out what's going on and get any kind of areas that are charging on that account move to a different card, hopefully to the bank account, and stop those increases. So I just want to fill these in real quick. Perfect. So I have those. Now we have our, dang it, I can't get it in focus. There we go. Okay, so now I have the payoff amounts in there. I've highlighted them, which is really great. The next thing that I'm going to focus on paying off is going to be this affirm loan up here, as well as a stage card, because as you can tell, the balances are really small, especially when we look at the new balances over here. So those are going to be the next ones that I focus on. And then the next thing that I want to start focusing on is going to be that Capital One Visa card that my husband has, because I really want to get it paid off before the interest starts accruing on it. Get that one out of the way. And then the Citi card, I have until, let's see, 18 months from last month on the balance transfer. So I have until fall of next year to even worry about that one. So we'll probably go ahead and tackle a few other things. Kind of in the meantime, I still want to kind of beef up our emergency fund, as well as finish planning out our homeschool year. But that's a pretty good start. So I went through and I kind of numbered the things that I wanted to be working on. So affirm, like I said, 4, 5. Here's that Capital One account, 6. That one was going to be 7, but I got that one paid off early, so that's super exciting. And then I think the next thing that I want to do is I want to get our cell phones paid off, because the balance or the minimum payments on them are pretty high. I know that they're not accruing interest, but I really just want to use those minimum payments for something else. So that will just beef up my debt snowball even more. So that's kind of where I'm at. So I'm super excited. I'll go ahead and I'll pop this one back in my month of May. And then I was poking around online and I got these little debt trackers, which were really exciting. So this one I'm going to fill out for our total debt now that I have the balance that I know I want to pay off. This one I thought we would use for credit cards, just to be able to see, how much we're paying off each month. So I'll get this one updated. And then this one is going to be for our Prius loan, and this one's for the Highlander. Although this one we will pay off, because we want to keep the car. We figured that one would be a really good car to kind of pass down to the kids and let them use it as they get old enough to drive. My daughter's 14 this year, so I figured that's coming up pretty soon, and it gets really good gas. So that will probably be used for her. And then as far as the Highlander goes, that was more of an impulse buy, I guess. We really wanted a Highlander. We were really hoping that we would be able to pull things with it, but after we got it, and then we finally got to the point where we were ready to start camping and stuff like that, we found out that the towing capacity on it is not very high. I think it's only like 1,800 pounds or something like that. Really, really sad. So eventually this one will go. I'll probably pay it down, and then we'll work on saving up some cash for a down payment, and then we'll trade it in for something that we want, because I don't see any point of paying off this one if I'm going to sell it, because I know that the trade-in, they're not going to give me very much for the trade-in. So that's probably what we'll do there. The other thing is the student loan tracker. Right now I'll probably just use this one for my husband's account, because his account's the only one that we actually make any principal headway on. So we'll do that one. My little one, eventually, we'll make some headway on that one, but that's kind of where that one is. And then these are just extra trackers for my planner. So figured I'd just show you my little debt payoff trackers that I found. I was super excited. This one's on debt-free charts. Actually, they were all on debt-free charts, and they were free, so even better. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Sorry it was so long. Sorry if I ramble and mumble. Like I said, it's still stressful and nerve-wracking to go through all this, but I am really excited to see where the big increases are happening in our cards. That way I can figure out what's going on here and hopefully get rid of those increases, so that the only thing that will happen will be interest charged to the account. And I'm excited for next month to be 4 lines shorter. It's crazy to see that we have a whole page worth of debt. But I'll go ahead and put my date up here, May 2020. And then we'll file this one away in the planner. So I hope you guys have an amazing week, and we will catch you again soon. Bye, guys.